Hello everyone, welcome back to React's Karel channel. My name is Karel, or you can call me Kila. So today we're going to talk about the mapping, the retargeting between the animations of the Unreal Engine Mannequin and Metahuman, and also the Mixamo animations. We're going to talk about the way that I like how we're going to do it. There's a lot of way in this topic, and they are all right. There's a lot of right way to do it. There's a lot of details behind it, and this is the quick and easy, simple way that I think there's a balance between the quality that we got on the retargeting animation. And please also keep in mind that you could skip to any time, any chapters of this video if you don't like to watch the theory behind it and the reference of the document. You just go right into it and skip to the chapters. All right, so let's get started. So right here, you will see I have two screens over here that we actually visit this topic 1 year ago on the third-person tutorial and the animation, retargeting, and Mixamo. But as you guys might know, Unreal Engine have basically two complete version in Unreal Engine 5. One is the Early Access version, because it's Early Access. So they still have the old retargeting manager. And that's what we used a lot in our previous video. But there's also the latest one without the old retargeting manager, and you have to basically create your own Ik-rig and define it. And in the previous two videos, I tried different approach. In the Superman video that we tried to do the city sample and do the Superman thing and try to map the retarget the flight animation directly to Metahuman, and it works. And then we also have the assign skeleton method in the previous video on simple Unreal Engine, Metahuman, and third-person tutorial over here that we just assign directly as one of the approach. But today we are having the more versatile approach between the mannequin animation and the metahuman animation and also the Mixamo animation, so that is more versatile to use on other project. So let's have a look on the documentation first. All right, so when we look into the documentation on the Ik-rig over here, I'm gonna include the link in the description. You can see normally if we do Ik-rig retargeting, we need to have two Ik-rig set up for both of the character that we need. For example, in this example, there's a mannequin and a robot, right? Then the best part of the retargeting is we don't have to set up the whole pieces of the arm or the leg, and in different, even with different partition in different bone structure, we're still able to retarget the whole chain of it. So this is actually a really good thing. So with 4 parts, 3 parts, we could still retarget the same thing on the animation. But this also have a huge cost when we have a really complicated skeleton structure. For example, in the documentation over here, it talks about how we separate it. It should be the arm left, arm right, and then the leg left, leg right, and then the head, the neck, and then the spine. So it seems easy, right? It is easy when you only map those parts. But the problem would be there's also the fingers, and there's also the feet, and there's also the tweet part in some of the skeleton. So it getting really complicated and really time consuming when you try to do the retargeting on between the characters. So the way I'm going to approach this is a little bit different with the documentation over here. But this is good reference. If you want to learn the way I'm doing that, feel free to reference to this documentation and do it. And there's no problem with that. On the other hand, what I want to introduce to you guys is when you look into the Unreal Engine release note over here. I also will include this in the description. You're able to see a lot of update, and one of the interesting update that related to this tutorial is the skeleton compatibility. The skeleton compatibility property allows different skeletons to share data as soon as they are in the same bone names to match between the skeletons. And this is a really useful thing because, as you know, mannequins are created by Unreal Engine. They're using the same structure, same name. And then Metahuman is also using the same structure and the same name. So we could probably use this to do the retargeting. Retargeting, more like sharing between the animation between Metahuman and the mannequin. So this will be our approach. And then after that, we're going to have the approach on retargeting Mixamo, similar with our Mixamo retargeting last year, that we're going to use an asset, and program over here with the ThirdPerson Studio. And I'm going to talk about this later to convert the Mixamo to convert Mixamo animations to the Unreal Engine format. And why we want to do that? Because the fingers problem, there's a lot of details on retargeting, and you could do wrong if you are not used to how to do retargeting. And this actually save a lot of time, and I feel like this will be a good approach in our purpose. So all right, so now let's go to the meat. Okie dokie. So now we're in the Epic Games Unreal Engine 5. So let's launch this. And today the version we're using is the Unreal Engine 5.0.1. Your version might be different, and when your version gets updated, the UI might be different, and but the flavor should be the same. Let's launch the project. Alrighty, so now we have the Unreal Project browser. Click Games, and you will see a lot of options. You could either choose third person like the previous video we have, or the blank project. And today I'm going to try a different approach, and we're going to start with blank project. And the project name is going to be demo retargeting Metahuman Mixamo. Oh, too long. I guess Metahuman. And I didn't include the starter content because I don't need it, but you guys feel free to do whatever you want. Alrighty, so now we got the empty project. The next thing we want to do, in my case, I choose my scalability on medium because, like I mentioned in a couple of videos, my computer is kind of weak. And you could choose that in the settings over here, and then you could see the NG scalability settings. And then what you want to do next is we want to prepare the content. And if you don't have Crystal Bridge, feel free to go to the add-on and install the plugin. But if you have it, it's over right here on the Crystal Bridge. We talked about this in the previous video too. Alright, so afterward, you want to log in to your account. And after you logged in, you should be able to see the Metahuman you created with your Metahuman creators under My Metahuman. In my case, it's the Monkey King. You could go back to the video to see how I did that too. Today, we're not going to import the high quality because we don't need it. So I'm just going to do the medium quality to save my space. I press Add button and just wait. Alrighty, so let's enable all missing parts. And then let's restart. Save it. Alright, so now it restart and we could close the bridge. And let's check the content. By pressing Ctrl Space, you could pull out the Windows dock over here, and you should be able to see the Metahuman. The next thing we want to do is, since the process we want to do is we want to do something similar with the last video, we want to do the retargeting between the Metahuman and the mannequin we have in Unreal Engine. The mannequin in Unreal Engine is really similar with Metahuman, so we want to use the compatibility skeleton, what we see in the dock, with our reference on the mannequin. But to get the mannequin, we need to add the ThirdPerson, or maybe any other project that includes the mannequins. So we're going to press Add, and we're going to go to the Add feature or content pack, ThirdPerson. Alright, so I press Add to Project. Alright, so now it added to the project. Let's double check. In the character, I should have the mannequins and I should have the Rex over here, which we want to use on the Ik mannequin. Alright, so now our project should be ready, and let's have a look on the Metahuman. And our Metahuman, Monkey King, is over here. Double click it, and we want to go to the body. We're going to go to this skeleton mesh over here. I want to see the bones. Alright, so it looks good. And the next thing we want to check is we want to check the mannequins over here in the Rex. Ik. We don't have the Ik for the Metahuman, but we're going to use the Ik for this over here. And we're going to choose this over here for the Manny. And we're going to choose skeleton. Alright. So what we're going to do next is we want to show the animation, and we want to make the skeletons compatible between the Metahuman and the mannequin. And what we're going to do is we want to go to skeleton over here on the mannequins, and I'm going to choose plus. Under the asset details, you can see under Windows asset details if you don't have it, and then press plus, and then go choose the Metahuman base skeleton. The reason for that is because our Metahuman is using the skeleton, as we checked, and we press save, and then we're gonna choose the Metahuman's skeleton, and then we're gonna choose the compatible skeletons to be the mannequins. Alright, save. And then next, we have the Ik mannequins. And what we want to do is we want to create Ik for the Metahumans too. So go Rex, Ik mannequins. We're going to duplicate this. You can press Ctrl D, Ik Metahuman. Alright, got this. Double click. Change the preview mesh to the body preview. So M_MED in my case. If you're female, it's different. So look into your scatter mesh. And I choose NLW and then body. And then I choose the preview one to easier to compare. So press save. Next thing we want to do, we need to go to the mannequins, and you're able to see the RTG mannequins over here. You double click it, and then now we have two mannequins over here. I want to choose the Metahuman one, and now I should be able to compare it side by side. Let's save it. So let's choose, since we have the ThirdPerson library, we have the default animation already. So we should choose walk, and we have the walk forward. Let's try it. Looks really good. Walk in place. Look at how good the feet looks like. It looks really good. And the fingers looks good. Alright, so we got this part done. We can actually view it in our blueprint. So let's go back over here. Now we could drag and drop our monkey king. Good. Oh, and if you have the LED problem, don't forget that you could do those over here. Force LED to 0 to your hair, because mine don't support -1. And now we have Metahuman, and I want to see this walking. So I'm gonna go to details of your monkey king. Oh, I mean of your Metahuman, and then press and choose the body and the animations. Where are you? Over here. And then we have to walk, right? So walk forward, and when you play it, it's working. Awesome. All right, so we got the first animation working now between the mannequin and the Metahuman. And of course, you could always export your animation through the thing we have over here. You can always export for here. Always export. Press walk forward, and then you can export it, and then use it like what we did normally after we do retargeting. But you could also use it directly, like right now. Cool. So it looks fine. Let's try to retarget it. Let's put Metahuman. Let's put it for Metahuman roots for now. And now, when we apply it, over here, retarget, and it actually did retarget. You can see it looks slightly different. We can see it again. It looks slightly different. And then now, actually, let's reset this properly, just in case we're gonna retarget this again. Gonna target this again. She's over here. All right, so save all. All right, saving. All right, saving is done. Let's go check the. All right, come on. All right, so let's check the retarget animation, and let's press play. Cool, looks good. And now you could use that in your third-person controller too. The next, what we want to do is we want to do the Mixamo animation, and we want to retarget this over here and use in Metahuman. So as I mentioned earlier, I would like you guys to go to this website over here, download the Mixamo Converter. Keep in mind that I don't take responsibility on any potential problem if you use this software. So if you think it's a risk, feel free to not use it. But I find this is a really convenient tool for retargeting. Basically, it provides me better retargeting from the Mixamo, especially for the fingers and the feet on some of the details on the animation. And just press direct download and unzip it by the password over here. All right, so after you got this, what you can see, and you should be able to see this screen over here. And when you go to Mannequins, you should be able to see this FBX over here. And what I want you to do is I want you to go to the Mixamo website and then go to browse characters and then choose upload character. And we have our FBX file over here. Just drag and drop over here. All selected. Just wait a moment. Press next. It looks really good. Press next. Next. And now we should have our mannequins for Mixamo. And we press animation. I want to choose something that it will see the feet and the fingers really good. So that's why I choose this animation. So you will go walking. And then you see tons of walking over here. Actually, I want to go walk. Alright, so this is the one I want. Alright, so just click on this and this should do it. You could click on other ones too. But this is the one I want. Cool. You could choose also in place if you want. So you would just walk in place like we have. I want a non in place one, so this is good. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is I want to press download. And you want the skin is without skin. You want uniform. I choose ThirdPerson. It's up to you. And press download. Awesome. Then now we got the walking FBX downloaded. So the next thing we want to do is we want to put the walking FBX to the incoming FBX folder, which we did over here. And right now the outgoing FBX are nothing. And you could put tons of the FBX over here for the incoming FBX, and it should convert by the Mixamo Converter. So double click on Mixamo Converter. In your case, you might want to click on more info and then just run it. Click on that. Alright, I guess I clicked something wrong. Maybe. Okay, it looks good. I press step 2, convert, and click on this days over here. Alright. And it should be done. And now I press exit and look into outgoing FBX. It's working. Okie dokie. So let's try to import the FBX to the content folder. I'm just gonna put it over here with my monkey king, maybe. No, maybe I'll create a folder. Let's create a folder over here. Mixamo. Okay, so I can pull this animation and import it over here. And now this is really important. We have the specific setting that we need. For the skeleton, we want to choose the UE4 skeleton, which is the SK mannequin skeleton. You could try on the UE5, but in theory, this program should be targeting the UE4, so you should choose the UE4 first and then do the retargeting. So I choose the UE4. And then after that, you want to compare the settings over the website over here. There is the UE4 Mannequin skeleton. I choose the Mannequin skeleton from UE4 too. And then you want to make sure you import the mesh says inbound in the advanced option, right? And then use default sample size, sample rate, looks right. Import custom attributes to be off, over here. Okay. And then the next thing is import bones tracks to be on. Delete existing morph to be off. Do not import curves to be off. And that's it. Cool. Alright, so I'm gonna press import. And now we have this nice Mixamo animation. Notice this animation is walking on the floor, on top of the floor. But after we do retargeting it, it shouldn't have any problem. So let's go back. And then I'm going to go back to this animation. And I'm going to choose Retarget Animation Asset. And then I'm going to choose the UE4 to UE5 retargeter. And since our Metahuman works on the Mannequin, and it should work, I'm going to put prefix as UE5 and retarget to the folder. I'm putting the same folder just to compare. Press retarget. Ta-da! We have the UE5 walking, and it looks pretty good. Look at the fingers. Look at the legs. Looks pretty good. Nice. 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 Alright, so now the next thing I want to do is I want to try it out directly. Again, you could go to over here. You could export this and retarget this, but we don't have to. So I'm just gonna test it over here. So choose body, and I'm gonna find the UE5 walking. So UE5. All right, let's test it. Go. Looks pretty good. Nice, nice. And let's compare side by side. All right. So here's the retargeting tutorial on how do you map between the Mixamo, UE5 and 4 mannequins, and the Metahuman. So this is the way how we did it. And again, there's a lot of way, and there's a lot of ways it's also correct. And there's a lot of details between the retargeting. You can spend your time on documentation, and you should be able to correct your specific cases accordingly. All right, so that's all for today, and have a wonderful day. See ya.